evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's education based Indiana High School Athletic Association varsity basketball. Basketball here on a Tuesday night, March the 3rd. We'll mention this radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO. That's Rob Kendall. Rob Kendall, you can listen live on YouTube to Rob Kendall. That's the robkindleshow.com. It's Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You can live chat if you are a subscriber. If you're a channel subscriber, you can live chat with Rob Kendall on the air. And we'll mention that game one just completed. Game one just finished. We'll mention that was Yorktown and Jay County. At halftime, it was Yorktown 28-14. At the end of the third quarter, it was Yorktown 43, Jay County 30. Final score, it was a thriller. Yorktown got the win at 6 p.m. They'll play on Friday, and then they'll play Friday night. They'll play the 6 o'clock game. We do thank you for tuning in. We'll mention tonight's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Hamilton County Reporter. We'll talk about Hamilton County Reporter. We'll listen to Stu Clampett here in just a moment. First, we'll mention a little bit about the teams playing tonight. It's the Hamilton Heights Huskies and the Newcastle Trojans. They did play earlier this season. It was a 3-overtime victory. It was for Newcastle. We'll talk about that in a moment. Right now, we'll mention the Huskies. Huskies, the home team, they're going to wear white. White home team, the Hamilton Heights Huskies. They have a school enrollment of 687. Back home in Arcadia, they have a gym capacity of 3,106. Hamilton Heights became Hamilton Heights Huskies back in 1965. Prior to, they were Jackson Central. My dad graduated there, Sonny Beck, Linda Beck. But we'll mention Hamilton Heights Class 3A sectional 24. In that sectional, as you know, Jay County. Jay County started the night at 20-3. And we'll mention Yorktown 14-8. Connorsville 14-9. Connorsville will play Friday night. They'll play against Yorktown Friday night at 6 o'clock. And we'll mention Hamilton Heights 13-9 presently on the season. Delta, the Eagles 13-10. Newcastle, the Trojans are 10-12. And we'll mention the principal at Hamilton Heights High School is Whitney Gray. The athletic director is Kurt Ogden. The athletic assistant is Lee Ann Moffett. And the athletic trainer is Dr. Jan Clifton Goff. Hamilton Heights High School is located at 25802 State Road 19. That's in Arcadia, Indiana, 46030. You can dial them by telephone by dialing 317-984-3551. On the web, their website is hhschuskies.org. They wear the collars orange, white, and brown. They perform in the Hoosier Athletic Conference. Hoosier Athletic Conference order of finish for 2025-26 season is like this. At number 1, it was West Lafayette, currently 19-4. Number 2, Logansport, 13-9, followed up by number 3, Benton Central. 4, Western Panthers. 5, Hamilton Heights Huskies. 6, Central Catholic Knights. 7, Twin Lakes Indians. 8, Tipton Blue Devils. And at number 9, the Rensselaer Central Bombers. We'll mention again, Hamilton Heights currently 13-9 on the season. They finished in the East Division of the Hoosier Conference at 2-2. And offensively, in 22 games, they average, this is an average, in 22 games, 60 points. 60 points per game offensively. They give up an average defensively of 54.6. The head coach for the Hamilton Heights Huskies, working in year number 19 at Hamilton Heights, is Coach Chad Ballinger. Chad Ballinger at Hamilton Heights, 258 wins, 181 losses. He's an overall 26-year head basketball coach. In 26 years, he's 334 and 264. The next game on the agenda for Hamilton Heights or Newcastle, the winner tonight, will play on Friday night, March the 6th. It'll be a 7:30 start time. Delta Eagles will be the opponent. Now we'll talk a little bit about the Newcastle Trojans. Newcastle Trojans High School. They have a school enrollment of 824. Right here, the gym capacity, 8,424. Not quite filled up tonight. There's quite a few folks on hand, though, I will say. And the Newcastle Trojans, their school was founded in 1895. Again, we'll mention their Class 3A, Sectional 24, 6 in that sectional. And they are the Patriots, the Tigers, the Spartans, the Huskies, the Eagles, and the Trojans. The principal at Newcastle High School is Mr. Kirk Amon. The athletic director, he was most instrumental for putting me in sports. We are thankful for Corey Bennett. The athletic secretary, also appreciate her, that's Teresa Thornburg. The athletic trainer is Matt Matnich. We'll mention Newcastle High School is located 801 Parkview Drive, Newcastle, Indiana, 47362. You can dial them by telephone at 765-593-6670. On their athletic website, it's NewcastleAthletic.com. They wear the collars green and white. They perform in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. There are 8 teams in the Hoosier Heritage, and their order of finish is like this. At number 1, it was Mount Vernon, 7-0. Number 2, Pendleton Heights, 5-2. Number 3, Shelbyville, 4-3. Number 4, New Palestine, 4-3, followed up by number 5, Yorktown. Number 6, Delta. Number 7, Greenfield. And number 8, Newcastle. Again, we'll mention Newcastle Trojans, presently 10 wins, 12 losses on the season. And we'll mention offensively, an offensive average, 22 games, 46.2. Their defensive allotment, they give up an average in 22 games of 48.5. Their head coach for the Newcastle Trojans, working in year number 1 at Newcastle. He's 10-12 on the season. That is Coach Matt Luce. We'll mention Matt Luce is a 24-year varsity head basketball coach. He's got 395 wins, 171 losses. And as you know, the next game on the agenda for either of these two teams, the winner will play Friday night on March the 6th. 7:30 start. Again, that will be against the Delta Eagles. And we'll also mention Hoosier Heritage. We'll talk about the Hoosier Heritage Conference, what games they have going on tonight in the Hoosier Heritage. There are 3 games happening tonight on Tuesday, March the 3rd, 7:30 game at Greenfield, Anderson, and Pendleton Heights. 6 o'clock game that was here, earlier game, here at Newcastle. That was Jay County and Yorktown. 7:30 start, getting ready to start. It's going to be Newcastle and Hamilton Heights. And it's a little bit behind time. We're going to have a little bit later starting time. And then we'll mention 7:30 start tonight in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. New Palestine. Take that back. That's going to be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 7:30. Wednesday, March the 4th. That happens to be my sister's birthday. I won't mention her age, but she's a year and a half older than I am. So tomorrow night, it's New Palestine and Roncalli. That will happen at Greenwood. And then Friday night, these will be the teams that They drew the bye right there on the actual pull out of the hopper there, ping pong ball. Mount Vernon will play the winner of game 1. That'll either be Muncie Central or Richmond. And Mount Vernon will play in game 1, 6 o'clock on Friday night. That's at Greenfield. Greenfield, they drew the bye. They'll play the winner of game 2. Game 2 would be Anderson and Pendleton Heights. Winner will play game 2. That's 7:30 Friday night at Greenfield. Delta Eagles, they're in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. They'll play the winner of game 2 tonight. So Delta will either play Hamilton Heights or Newcastle on Friday night at 7:30 here at Newcastle and Shelbyville. Shelbyville will play the winner of game 1, and that's tonight at Greenfield. And that could either be Greenwood or Rushville. That'll be a 6 o'clock start on Friday night. And we'll also mention happening tonight in the Hoosier Conference basketball, Twin Lake at Northwestern. Game has already started. Just one game at 7 o'clock start. That's at Logansport. Newcastle, right here with Hamilton Heights. Newcastle High School. Tipton going against Taylor tonight. That's at Elwood. That game is likely concluded. That was a 6 o'clock start. Pace Christian and Central Catholic tonight. Just one game, 7 o'clock start. That's at Fountain Central. Then tomorrow night, there's one game on March the 4th. Western and West Lafayette. 6 o'clock start. That's at Logansport. Then Friday night, Logansport drew the bye. They'll play the winner of game 1 at Logansport. And that'll be a 6 o'clock start. And that will either be Twin Lakes or Northwestern. Then Rensselaer Central. They'll play the winner of game 1 at Delphi. 6 o'clock start. And then Benton Central, they'll play the winner of game 2 at Delphi. That'll be a 7:30 start. We do thank you for tuning in. We appreciate people. We're going to listen right now.
Newspaper. Thanks to sports editor Richie Hall. We have the best sports coverage in the area. Thanks to Indiana's weatherman, Paul Poteet, we have the most accurate forecast. We don't just report the news. News stories. If you'd like to get us to your inbox, you can subscribe and read.
That's Hamilton County Reporter. We're very thankful for Stu Clampett. We'll be right back. We're going to jog off into the locker room. Both teams, I should say. They are going to stay on premises. 44 seconds, clock rolling down. And we'll mention after the ball game, we've got a special treat. Yesterday, I got to mention, yesterday, I got to do an interview with Kent Benson. Kent Benson, 1976, 32-0 team. I tell you what, he was a gentleman and a scholar. He welcomed me in his home. I drove to Bloomington, talked with him. 27 minutes. Please stay tuned. After this ball game, we will play the complete interview. And if you want to listen in, he said some good stuff, and I appreciate him a lot. Talked about Bobby Knight and so on. So they're getting ready to mention the starting lineups, and we'll do the same. We'll mention tonight. Visiting team on the scoreboard, Newcastle Trojans. We'll mention the non-starters. Number 0, Gage Butler. Number 1, Tipton Votright. Number 5, Carson Bain. Number 11, Elijah Turner. Number 13, Matthew Goodwin. Number 15, Brody Brown. Number 20, Lucas Eaton. Number 32, Carmack Stillwell. Starting lineup. Wearing number 4, he's 6'1", a senior, Mason Miller. Also starting, wearing number 10, he's 5'9", a sophomore, Maddox Melton. Wearing number 22 for Newcastle, 6'2", Braylon Bennett. Wearing number 24, 6'3", sophomore, Nick Godby. And wearing number 40, a 6-foot sophomore, Luke Mendoza. The head coach for the Trojans is Matt Luce. Now, for the Hamilton Heights Huskies, the non-starters, number 1, Cal Engel. Number 2, Caleb Sullivan. Number 3, Jackson Cantlin. Number 12, Gavin Lukasey. Number 14, Drew Woodruff. Number 24, Ethan Goodwin. And number 35, Hayden Spicer. Now the starters. Wearing number 4, 6'3" senior, Reed Knapp. Wearing number 5, 5'10" senior, Austin Day. Wearing number 10, 6'1" junior, Will DeStefano. Wearing number 22, 6'1", Jack Chakasula. And wearing number 23, 6'3" junior, Jackson Mikeson. The head coach for the tip from the Hamilton Heights Huskies is Coach Chad Ballinger. They're getting ready to jump it up right now. Heights going to wear the white uniforms. They're going to huddle up right there out on the floor. They're wearing different colored shoes. I see pink, I see black, I see white, I see gray, and I see orange. So jumping it up for Hamilton Heights going to be number 23, Jackson Mitchell. Jackson Mitchell, a 6'3" junior. Getting ready to jump it up for Newcastle. Newcastle going to wear the all green uniforms. Step to the center circle. Going to be number 24, 6'3" sophomore, Nick Godby. They're getting ready for basketball. Going to blow the whistle. 7:46 p.m. The toss is low. Tip to the backcourt, Hamilton Heights with the possession. Number 22, Jack Takasula crossing the timeline. They work it right side. Move the basketball around. That's number 10, DeStefano. Back out top, well beyond the arc. Re-snap. To drive in, elbow shot, left elbow, wouldn't go. Rebound out of there. Newcastle. Newcastle through the front court. On the dribble, works to the left side. We're going to back around. That's number 10, Maddox Melton. We're behind the arc, left side, being guarded there. We snap with the responsibility to work at baseline to kick it back out, moving it back out top of the circle. 24, Nick Godby. Ball's in the hands, number 4, Mason Miller. Moving around the perimeter, has not had an opportunity for a good shot. Hamilton Heights playing good defense. Out top center circle. Nick Godby. Jay Shaw, 4, Mason Miller. But we're going back out top. Godby with the basketball. Now he get it to Miller. Miller's going to drive the lane. He'll flip one up. Couldn't get it. Rebound to Stefano. Stefano outlet. Right side. Moving the basketball. That's number 5. Working it back around. Now in the paint. Off the glass. 2-point shot wouldn't go. Hit the surface. No foul called. That shot taken by Hamilton Heights 22. Kakasula to the front court. Moving the basketball. Miller. Miller's going to go in. Might have drugged that through. No call. Out top with the basketball to reset the offense. 22, Braylon Bennett. Big guarded there by Reese-Knapp. Bounce it in. Working in number 40, Mendoza. He'll bring it back out and they'll reset the offense. Out top of the circle, Nick Godby. Almost a steal there. Good effort by Will DeStefano. Newcastle retains possession. Outside the arc, they'll take a 3-point shot. Left of center. Shot wouldn't go. That was 22, Braylon Bennett. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. To the front court with the basketball. Going to dribble in. Mikesell off the glass. Got the bucket. 2-point bucket. Mikesell for 2. Huskies have a 2-point advantage. 2-0 here early in the first quarter. 5:52 left. Clock moving. Out top of the basketball. Back pedal dribble. Mason Miller. Works it around the perimeter. 3-point shot. Left elbow extended. Shot wouldn't go. Shot taken by Braylon Bennett. There's going to be an offensive foul during the rebound. A little bit of a push-off. And Hamilton Heights going to get possession. So they'll bring the ball back in. They'll go 84 feet from the backcourt. It's going to be brought in by Will DeStefano. He'll bounce it in. Austin Day. Austin Day on the dribble. To the timeline. He'll be picked up loosely by Maddox Melton. He'll bounce it in. Right elbow. Move it down low. Mikesell. Mitchell backing his way in. He's in the paint. He'll go off the glass again. Got the bucket. Mitchell for 2 more. The 4-0 contest. Huskies by 4. We're going to see the front court. Mason Miller works to the left side. Going to dribble in baseline. Back pedal. Fadeaway jumper. Wouldn't go. That shot taken by Newcastle. Number 10, Maddox Melton. Hamilton Heights with the board. They go quickly down the floor. They'll kick it back out. Mitchell, 3-point shot, good. 23, Jackson Mitchell for 3. He's shooting 33% behind the arc. He's now 9 for 25 on the season. 7-0 contest. Mitchell has 7 points. Will be a near steal in the backcourt. Ball still loose. The slide for the basketball, trying to come up with it. It's going to belong to Newcastle. Good hustle. Reese Knapp was on the floor. Couldn't come up with it. The officials point the direction of Newcastle. They'll bring it inside court in front of the Newcastle bench. They'll toss it in, Mason Miller. Miller on the dribble, being guarded full court by Jack Kakasula. We're going to see a substitution next dead ball for Newcastle. Mason Miller kicks it outside. 3-point shot, short off the mark. Shot taken there by Newcastle, number 10, Maddox Melton. Hamilton Heights in a hurry down the floor, and Mitchell is going to slide the foot. He was in the paint. He was going to go up for the shot, and he slid that foot, trying to gather his base, and a traveling violation is called. So taking a breather for Newcastle is 24, Nick Godby. In the game is number 3, 6'1", junior, Ryan Sturgis. Hamilton Heights going to guard him in the backcourt. They'll relax now, pick up at half court. We'll work it left side with the basketball. That's number 10, Maddox Melton. Working around the perimeter, Luke Mendoza. No relation to Fernando. We're going to back around out top of the basketball, moving the basketball. 10, Maddox Melton. We're going to right side. Now Mason Miller going to pop the shot. Right elbow, wouldn't go. Rebound, Austin Day. Austin Day to the front court. Spin move outside the arc there. That was Kakasula. Gets the ball back. Day tries a shot. Shot wouldn't go. Rebound put back is good. Reese Knapp for 2. And there's going to be a timeout called. It's a 9-0 contest. Hamilton Heights in front. Will be a 30-second timeout called by the Newcastle Trojans. And I will mention, got to mention, these two teams have played against one another 9 times since 2016. Newcastle has 6 of those wins. Hamilton Heights have 3. And I will mention, back this year, Newcastle and Hamilton Heights went triple overtime, and Newcastle got the win, 71-68. At the end of regulation, it was 49-49. And a good ball game victory. So this is a rematch, but it's on the Newcastle turf. So second buzzer sounds. Will bring the ball in from the backcourt. Brought in by Newcastle, Braylon Bennett. Point guard, Maddox Melton. He'll trot it to the timeline. Picked up by Austin Day. Works it left side with the basketball. 22, Braylon Bennett. Round the perimeter, Ryan Sturgis. Now back to Miller. Miller going to get it to Sturgis out behind the arc. Now Luke Mendoza. Lost the handle. Nearly a steal. Austin Day with good hands. They had to retrieve it into backcourt. Picked up by Maddox Melton of Newcastle. Out top of the basketball, Ryan Sturgis. Moves it right side. 22, Braylon Bennett. Back to Mendoza. Outside the arc, triple threat available. He'll backpedal dribble now. Number 4, Mason Miller. Out top of the circle. 3-point shot wouldn't go. And there's going to be another rebounding foul. It's going to be whistled on Newcastle. They're going to whistle this on 22, Braylon Bennett. Braylon Bennett picks up his first. And the Huskies going to bring it in from the backcourt. 2:55 left. We're in the first quarter. 9-0 contest. Hamilton Heights in front. Mackey. We're going to back around. That was Mitchell out top. Dribble in the lane. Shot wouldn't go. Shot taken there by DeStefano. Rebound, Newcastle. To the front court, Mason Miller. Miller on the crossover. Out top picks up a screen for Mendoza. They're getting the ball back to Mendoza. Now back to Miller. Outside the arc, number 10, Maddox Melton. Works it right side with the basketball. Triple threat available. He'll pass out top of the circle. Mendoza He'll work it left side, 3-point shot off the mark. That was number 10, Maddox Melton. Rebound Newcastle in the paint, left-handed floater. Right at the bucket, Luke Mendoza. Newcastle is on the board. 9-2 contest. Hamilton Heights by 7. Dribble in, re-snap. He'll pop a shot. 13-footer. Straight away, got it. Re-snap for 2. It's 11-2. Hamilton Heights by 9. 150 left here in the first quarter. In the front court with the basketball. Mason Miller going to launch a 3. Wouldn't go. Rebound, Austin Day for the Huskies. To the front court with the basketball, Austin Day. Scouting out some directions. He'll dribble. Right elbow. Kick it back out. Re-snap. 3-point shot. Rims off. Wouldn't go. Rebound, Newcastle. Mason Miller. Miller brings it to the timeline. Picked up there by Kakasula. They go off the glass. Drives the lane. Couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound, Kakasula. He'll work it in the paint off the glass. 2-point bucket. Good. Jackson Mitchell for 2. 13-2 contest. Let's see, 3 subs check in. 1 Hamilton Heights Husky amongst the 3 next to that ball. Going to work it back out. He's open. Off the glass. Couldn't get the bucket. That was Maddox Melton. Rebound, Austin Day. They'll work it back out to Mitchell. Out top, Stefano. Now back out, re-snap. He's going to shout out a play out top of the circle. He gives the ball up. 22, Jack Kakasula, 6'1" junior. Out near the center circle. They're going to call time, and a referee's going to spot some blood on the elbow of a Newcastle player. So in the ball game for Hamilton Heights, number 2, Caleb Sullivan. Taking a breather is number 5, Austin Day. So we're going to check on his elbow. That's number 24, Nick Godby. And athletic trainer Matt Nedge will check on him for Newcastle. Ball's in the front court. Hamilton Heights on the dribble outside. Jack Kakasula. Keeping the ball away, working right there against him is Maddox Melton. Let's try to get that count. Now, Maddox Melton put some effort into this 5-second count. He breaks it again. Out top, going to be a holding foul. Maddox Melton going to get caught for a hold. And Jack Kakasula with a good dribbling exhibition out near the center circle. We're going to try to get this gentleman back in the game. We'll double check here. They're checking on him. They're going to say he needs a little wrap right there around the elbow. So back in the ball game, Newcastle, Mason Miller, number 4. He'll enter the ball game, and when Nick Godby, 24, gets that elbow wrapped, he'll be back in the game too. 13-2, Hamilton Heights by 11. Heights ball in the front court. They'll pass it short court and the back court. At the center court now is 22, Jack Kakasula. Kakasula on the dribble. Plenty of room. Mason Miller giving him space. They're working down low off the glass. 2-point bucket. Again, Jackson Mitchell lighting up the board. Got the bucket at the buzzer at the end of 1 quarter of play. Hamilton Heights, 15. Newcastle, 2. We do thank you for tuning in, and we'll mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Munchie's Ice Cream and Bake Shop. Munchie's Ice Cream and Bake Shop. Have you driven downtown Arcadia, Indiana lately? Check out Munchie's. Munchie's Ice Cream and Bake Shop, in addition to ice cream and milkshakes and soda sippers. Their cookies are just like Grandma used to make. They're baked from scratch. Their winter hours at Munchie's Ice Cream and Bake Shop are Tuesday through Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m. to 7 p.m. Stop in. They've got chocolate chip snickerdoodle, sugar cookies, and more. That's Munchie's Ice Cream and Bake Shop. Stop in. They're at 151 West Main Street, Arcadia. That's right across the street from where Donovan's used to be. You can get out of the cold and get you some apple crisp. No order is too big. No order too small. Call them at 463-325-8679. Alternate possession arrow gives it to Newcastle. Brought in half court. To the back court, bring it to the timeline. Maddox Melton. Melton working right there. He'll bounce it in. It's Sturgis. in the paint. They're working through the other corner. Thought about a three. Defense was there for Hamilton Heights. Braylon Bennett now out top. 3-point shot good. Just left of center, Maddox Melton. Melton shoots 34% from three-point land. He's now 27 for 78. I do have 21 game stats for Newcastle. I have up-to-date 22 game stats for Hamilton Heights. They're going to whistle a foul in the front court. This foul is going to be whistled on Newcastle. They're going to whistle this on 24, Nick Godby. Godby back in the ballgame. 6'3" sophomore. He jumps center, picks up his foul, his first foul in the contest. Jack Kakasula on the dribble, picks it up, baseline, gives it back up, re-snap. Out top to Stefano. Now back to Mitchell. Jackson Mitchell keeps the dribble alive. He fell to the surface, trying to get rid of it. It's picked up by Mason Miller to the front court, Newcastle. On the dribble, Maddox Melton. 15-5 contest. Hamilton Heights by 10 out top of the basketball. That's number 10, Maddox Melton. Working it out top. They'll work it in baseline to the corner. Sturgis now back out top. Godby. The float a 3-point shot wouldn't go. Braylon Bennett from left corner baseline wouldn't go. They're going to whistle a foul in the backcourt, I should say, during the rebound. So foul whistle. And we're going to pick up second foul here in the second quarter on Newcastle. Hamilton Heights yet to commit a foul in the second quarter. Who that should say the Huskies bring it to the timeline. 22, Jack Kakasula. Outside the arc, back out top. In the ball game, Caleb Sullivan, number 2 for the Huskies. Sullivan, a 6'2" junior. They're working in the paint, re-snap. They'll float one in, left-handed under scoop shot for re-snap for 2. It's 17-5. Hamilton Heights by 12. Going to bring it to the timeline at a slow walk pace. Number 10, Maddox Melton. Out top, picks up the dribble, way out top. Moves it left side, Ryan Sturgis. Cross-court skip pass. Thought about a shot there, blocked shot, re-snap. 22, Braylon Bennett. Took the 3 and re-snapped, knocked it out of bounds. Back in the ballgame for Newcastle, Luke Mendoza was number 40. Entering the ballgame for 24, Nick Godby. They'll work a shot pass to the left corner baseline. Couldn't track it down. Going to have the foot on the side court line. Long entry pass to the corner. Difficult pass to handle. And Newcastle throws it out of bounds. So Hamilton Heights going to bring it to the timeline. Jack Kakasula on the dribble. They'll work it left side. Picked up there by Mason Miller. He'll dish it inside. Elbow. Left side. A free snap. Nap around the perimeter. DeStefano. Will DeStefano goes to the corner with it. Jack Kakasula. There's going to be another foul whistled. This one in the front court. And Newcastle going to get called for the foul. Going to be whistled on number 40, Luke Mendoza. He has 2 in the ball game. That's the third foul here in the second quarter on Newcastle. Ball brought in the hands, Jack Kakasula. Kakasula, we're passing out, will be intercepted, going the other direction. Mason Miller off the glass, got the bucket. Mason Miller with the steal and coast to coast. The 17-7 contest. Hamilton Heights by 10. 5:25 left here in the second quarter. Going to work it out top stationary dribble. Jack Kakasula works it right side behind the arc. Will DeStefano. Out top, 3-point shot, re-snap. Good. Just right of center. Re-snap for 3. Knapp shooting 36% from 3-point land. He's now 46 for 126 in the front court. Newcastle. Out top, Mendoza. Working back around, Ryan Sturgis. Around the perimeter, in the hands of Braylon Bennett. Looking for a shot. They're going to dribble in. That was Mendoza. They'll bring it back out. He'll toss it to the backcourt. They're going to say he was not on the line there. There's going to be a foul whistled. And it almost looked like that would have been an over and back. Maddox Melton saved the basketball. The official was right there. So evidently, no foot on the line. They're going to give it back to Newcastle. So bring it in. Right corner baseline on the dribble. Mason Miller. Out top on the drive. Floater outside the paint, good. Braylon Bennett, 6-foot junior. Bennett wears number 22. It's a 20-9 contest. Hamilton Heights by 11. 4:25 left here in the first half. On the dribble, right side, Will DiStefano. On the dribble, guarding him, number 3, Ryan Sturgis. Now back to Jack Kakasula. He'll backpedal dribble. Keep the ball alive. Now deep in the front court. Picked up there by number 4, Mason Miller. We're working in. We'll drive in. Jack, it's Mitchell. Mitchell in the paint. He'll go up the shot. He'll get fouled. He'll shoot 2. With Jackson Mitchell. Mitchell went completely under the hoop. Tried to get it back up on the left side. Went up for the shot. Got fouled. He'll shoot 2. That's going to be the 4th foul on Newcastle. Here in the second quarter with 4:01 left. So Jackson Mitchell, 63% free throw shooter. He's 62 for 98 on the season. Jackson Mitchell. First shot up and good. Substitution in the ballgame for Newcastle. We're going to see number 20, Lucas Eaton. Lucas Eaton is a 6'4 senior. Taking a breather is Luke Mendoza. 21-9. Jackson Mitchell will have one more shot. Mitchell's second shot also good. Back in the ballgame for Newcastle, 24, Nick Godby, 6'3 sophomore. Taking a breather is 22, Braylon Bennett. The ball brought in backcourt. 22-9. Huskies in front. Going to bring it to the timeline. That's number 10, Maddox Melton. We're in it out top. Picked up a screen from Godby. Works it right side. That's number 20, Lucas Eaton. He'll dribble. He'll go baseline and pick up the basketball. Trying to get it to the other corner. Looking for Mason Miller. Stepping in front of the passing lane and getting the steal. Right there was Jackson Mitchell. Ball in the front court. Jack Kakasula on the dribble. They'll work it right side. Well behind the arc. That's number 2, Caleb Sullivan, a 6'2 junior. Working around the perimeter. Jack Kakasula is going to go baseline. They go off the glass. Got the bucket. 2-point bucket for Kakasula. 24-9. And pretty quick, we're going to see Braylon Bennett to the scorer's bench. He's ready to come back into the ballgame. To the front court, Newcastle. On the dribble, Mason Miller. Behind the back dribble and working back out top. Moving around the perimeter, Nick Godby. Now back to Sturgis. Sturgis going to work a right side. Inside the 3-point line and work down baseline. And Jackson Mitchell playing good D against Nick Godby. We're going to land Sturgis in the paint. He'll float one up off the glass. Got the bucket. He'll get the bucket and he'll shoot one more. There'll be a foul whistled on Hamilton Heights. Foul's whistle on Jackson Mitchell. He'll pick up his first, team foul number 2. In the ball game for Hamilton Heights, number 14. 14, that is Drew Woodruff. And taking a breather is Jackson Mitchell. Free throw line. 3-point play, good. Ryan Sturgis. 24-12. Huskies by 12. Trying to beat the press in the backcourt. Sullivan. Now Jack Kakasula beats the press. They go to the corner with it. 3 snap. Working back around. Woodruff. Now to Sullivan. Outside the arc. Stefano couldn't get it. Ball's loose. Going to be picked up by Newcastle. Credit the board. Number 10, Maddox Melton. He'll bring it to the timeline. 2:18 left here in the second quarter. Behind the back dribble in the paint. Spin move. Kicks it back out. Good dribbling exhibition. Maddox Melton. Melton, the 5'9 sophomore. Out top, and working back. Maddox Melton works it left side. 22, Braylon Bennett. Now back out, Nick Godby, well behind the arc, being guarded there by Will DiStefano. Now out top in the center circle. Moving the basketball, Mason Miller. Working back around, Nick Godby to the corner, Sturgis. He'll bring it back out. Top of the circle, back pedal dribble. Being guarded there by Woodruff. Working left side, nearly lost the handle. Braylon Bennett recovers. They go baseline, and there's going to be a timeout called. Timeout called by Coach Matt Luke. Newcastle will be a full 60-second timeout. Hamilton Heights 24, Newcastle 12, 1:38 left here in the second quarter. We'll also mention tonight's ball game is in part Being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. You can let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. Lisa now does complimentary staging. You can let Lisa. Lisa will help you make your home look like a model home right out of a magazine. She'll do the work herself. She'll get your home looking nice. Lisa will help you sell your home quicker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or by text message, you can dial her at 317 513 4086. Again, her number is 317 513 4086. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. The ball's going to be brought in right at the bucket on the baseline. New cap. Ryan Sturgis wants to bring it in. They're going to stop play here for a moment, and they're going to find some more blood. More blood on a Newcastle Trojan, Braylon Bennett, this time. So they're going to allow Coach to meet with his players there briefly. And they're going to fix that situation. And they'll inbound the basketball right at the bucket on the baseline. 138 left, tossed in. Tall in the paint. Turnaround jumper wouldn't go. That's Mason Miller. Rebound, re-snap to the front court. Jack Takasula. Takasula, left side, crossing over, through the legs, back to re-snap, around the perimeter. Touches the hands briefly. That's number 5, Austin Day. Working back around, Austin Day. Now Will DeStefano. Right side, Jack Takasula. Re-snap on the dribble. They'll bring it back around. They'll reset the offense. Out top with Will DeStefano. Moving around the perimeter, re-snap. Austin Day. Now Jack Takasula being guarded there by Mason Miller. They hand the ball off. Go through the baseline there. That was Austin Day. Out top, Jack Takasula. He was open for 3. He elected not to shoot. Works the right side. Re-snap. Go baseline. Pick up the dribble. Working against him, Mason Miller. Working back around. Jack Takasula. He'll bounce it in. Trying to find the cutter. That was Reese Knapp, and the ball's intercepted by Newcastle, going the other direction. Out top of the basketball, center circle on the dribble, Maddox Melton. Being guarded there by Jack Takasula. They're working outside the arc. Mendoza. Now back to Mason Miller. Around the perimeter, outside, they get it to Ryan Sturgis. Back out to Mendoza. He moves the basketball. Left side, behind the arc. Back pedal dribble. Maddox Melton. Melton, working against Melton is 22, Jack Takasula, right in his grill. Working the dribble. He'll pop one from three-point land, wouldn't go. Right elbow extended. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. Shot at the buzzer. Rims out, nearly wins. That was Will DeStefano, and we'll go to halftime. Halftime score here at Newcastle High School. Hamilton Heights, 24. Newcastle, 12. And we do thank you for tuning in. We'll have a 10-minute intermission basketball here on a Tuesday night. And I will mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Rutledge Well Drilling and Pump Service Incorporated. When you think of water, think of Rutledge Well Drilling, pumps, sales, service, water conditioning, water softeners, and filters. You can call Rutledge Well Drilling and Pump Service Incorporated. You reach them at 765 292 2315. Again, their number is 765 292 2315. That's Rutledge Well Drilling.com. They're just west of Atlanta, a couple of miles right off of State Road 19, 296th Street. They are licensed, insured, honest, dependable, and always professional. That's Mike, Nathan, and Levi Rutledge. And Mike is still the main drip. And we also thank Discount Copies. Discount Copies bringing this game to you tonight. Discount Copies conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. That's at 46062. They're just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32, right there along State Road 32. At Discount Copies, they provide setup services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards, posters, and oversized printing also available. And if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You can reach Discount Copies by phone 317 773 8783. Again, that number is 317 773 8783. Or you can go online and get them on the email. It's discountcopies96 at gmail.com. And also bringing you tonight's contest is Kokomo Auto World. Kokomo Auto World. This game is sponsored by Coach Chad West at Kokomo Auto World. Coach West was a high school basketball coach for 30 plus years in central Indiana. And he has now turned his attention to selling you your next new Toyota, Honda, or pre-owned vehicle. That's Kokomo Auto World. Kokomo Auto World has been serving this basketball-rich region for more than 50 years. And now together, Coach West and Kokomo Auto World can meet all of your car and truck buying needs. You can call Kokomo Auto World today. Reach them at 765 453 4111. Again, their number 765 453 4111. And ask for Coach West. So, what I got a text here from my dad. He was trying to remind me that Jackson Central were the Eagles. We did that in the pregame. Jackson Central became Hamilton Heights in 1965. But prior to the Huskies, they were the Eagles. And we appreciate that. And so we'll mention, we'll try to look something up right here. Double check here. Working right here. Please stay tuned after the ball game. Got a nice interview to play that was recorded yesterday in the home of Kent Benson. Kent Benson, 6'10". They called him 6'11". He'll tell you in the interview that he was really 6'10", but they called him 6'11". But it's a good interview. It's 27 minutes. We've got permission to stick around and play the duration, play the whole interview with Kent Benson, and it's a good one. If you're not a U fan, you're going to want to stick around to listen to that. And we're going to go ahead and mention the rankings from Class 3A for this week. Class 3A Indiana High School basketball. At number 1 is still Silver Creek. Silver Creek, they're 21-1. They got the bye. They will play on Friday nights. At number 2, it's Princeton. Princeton 20-3 on the season. And Friday night, they'll play Washington. And Washington now 12-11. At number 3, it's Indianapolis Cathedral. They're currently 19-5. And they got a decisive win over Shortridge. I wouldn't begin to mention the century mark. I know Coach Ballinger. I'm going to say this. Coach Ballinger, I looked this up. 4 times he has scored. His team has scored in the 90s. 90 points. I'm trying to recall. I think it was 91 one game, 94 a couple of games, and 97, I think. But I just know that he's not the type of coach that would put a century mark on another team I've always thought if you go and watch the news that night, you see all the scores shown. When you see some team has broken the 100 mark, you think, why would they do that? Exactly right. But anyway, Coach Ballinger, uh, when he gets close to 100, I watched him at the Wigwam. At the Wigwam, they played Sheridan. They beat Sheridan decisively. Not modern day Sheridan with Coach Bowen. No, 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 no. But back at the Wigwam, I saw this happen because Put Me in Sports was working the game. He got to, I think it was 95, and he put his subs in with about 2 minutes left. And when the Huskies got the ball, they were instructed not to shoot the basketball because Coach Ballinger didn't want to get 100. And I commend him for his knowledge of thinking that way. So we'll go on at number 4, Class 3A. Number 4, Class 3A this week, Northview, 19-5. They got the bye. They'll play Friday. At number 5, Guerin Catholic. Guerin Catholic, Golden Eagles, 19-5. They'll play tomorrow night. They'll have Frankfurt. So check that out if you got a free time. Guerin Catholic and Frankfurt. And we'll mention at number 6, Columbia City at 20-4. They'll be against number 11, Fairfield, on Friday at 16-5. At number 7 is Shelbyville. Shelbyville, 19-5. And they'll be at Greenwood. That'll be Friday. Greenwood, 14-9. At number 8 is Jay County. We just saw Jay County in this gym. Jay County fell to Yorktown, 52-46. 6 o'clock game right here at Newcastle. Jay County now 20-4. At number 9, West Lafayette. They're 19-4. They'll play tomorrow night. They'll have Western, the Panthers. Panthers are currently 11-11. At number 10, it's Brebeuf Jesuit. Brebeuf 15-6 presently. And they're playing tonight. Tri-West. Must be a 7:30 start. At number 11 in Class 3A, Fairfield, as mentioned, they're 16-5, and they'll have number 6, Columbia City, at 20-4 on Friday. At number 12, it's Fort Wayne Blackhawk. Fort Wayne Blackhawk, 18-7, and they will play the winner of Game 2 right there on Friday. And we'll mention number 13, Batesville, 18-4. They'll play Greensburg on Friday. Number 14, Yorktown, now 15-8 on the season, as mentioned. They defeated Jay County in the earlier game here at Newcastle, 52-46. And they will play Friday against Connorsville, the Spartans. Connorsville Spartans head coach, I like him a lot. It is Dave McCullough. Dave McCullough, over 900 basketball games he has coached. He went 30 years at Noblesville. And also, we'll mention that game will happen Friday night. At number 15, Indianapolis Attic, 14-8. At number 16, Indianapolis Roncalli, 14-7. And at number 17, Northwood, 13-11. And they're getting ready for second half. Alternate possession arrow going to belong to the Huskies. They'll be brought in by Will DeStefano. Crossing in backcourt, Jack Kakasula. Be met right there in the backcourt by Newcastle, number 10, Maddox Melton. The bounce at right side. Jackson Michael now back out. Kakasula. Crossover outside the arc. Move the basketball. That's DeStefano. Back out top. Jackson Michael in the paint. Spin move. He'll take a shot. Wouldn't go, but he got fouled. He'll shoot 2. So Jackson Michael. Michael goes to the foul stripe, and that's foul whistle on 22 with Braylon Bennett. He has 2 in the contest. Shot up, wouldn't go. He'll get one more. Jackson Michael, 63% free throw shooter. Jackson Michael now 62 for 99 His 100th free throw right here. And it rims out. Would go rebound to Stefano. Put back is good. DeStefano found space on the lane. Got the rebound, but high off the glass. 2-point bucket for Will DeStefano. 26-12. Huskies by 14. We're in the second half, third quarter. 7:22 left. Outside the arc, moving the basketball. 22, Braylon Bennett. Around the perimeter, Mendoza. Now Melton. Maddox Melton picks up the dribble. He'll work it into Mendoza, into paint. Scoop shot, left-handed off the glass, wouldn't get it. Mendoza, rebound, Jackson Mitchell. In the front court, Hamilton Heights. Now Jack Takasula's near the center court. On the dribble, he'll give the ball up. On the dribble, number 5. We're going to back around. That's Austin Day, lost the handle. Hamilton Heights going to save the basketball. Timeout, Coach Ballinger. Going to save the possession, but a good effort. That ball was going over and back. Got to mention Jackson Mitchell slid on the floor. That's legal. J.R. Moffitt taught me that rule, and he's one of the very best. Has been coaching basketball at the freshman level for almost 35 years. We'll mention it's a 30-second timeout. And we will mention, if you'd like the broadcast, if you would like, share it or subscribe, it would be much appreciated. You know, a lot of effort goes into making notes. I have made mistakes here yet today. I've called our team a different team name by mistake because I'm used to it for this season, but I'm going to get more used to calling the Huskies name. Can be brought in. Will DeStefano. Backward slightly, Austin Day. On the dribble, left side, Jack Takasula. High pass, back to Austin. Out top, being guarded there by Sturgis. It's Ryan Sturgis. They'll get the ball back to Day. Works it right side. DeStefano. We'll go baseline, re-snap. He'll go off the glass. Shot when he go. Rebound, put back is good. And 23, Jackson Mitchell having a good game tonight. He got the bucket, and he'll shoot one more. There'll be a timeout called by Newcastle. There'll be one shot when we come back for Jackson Mitchell. 28-12, Hamilton Heights by 16. 6:27 left there in the third. We'll also mention tonight's ball game is being brought to you in part by Fritz and Fishers.com. They buy, they sell, they'll trade, they'll help you finance your quality car, truck, or SUV. They've got preferred low mileage and one owner automobiles. They have 2 Hamilton County, Indiana locations. One's in Fishers, 8599 East, 116th Street. You can reach them by dialing 317-842-2228. Another dealership right there along State Road 32 between Noblesville and Westfield, right there at Mill Creek Road. That's right between Westfield and Noblesville. You can reach them by dialing 317-773-2232, or you can visit online or stop by online, fritzandfishers.com, FRICZ. But the free throw line, Jackson Mitchell. You get one shot, 3-point play opportunity for Mitchell. Shot up, rims off, wouldn't go. Rebound, Braylon Bennett. To the front court, crossing the timeline. That's number 10, Maddox Melton. Melton working against him, Austin Day. They'll give the ball up right side. They'll take a shot. Braylon Bennett nails a 3. 3-point bucket for Newcastle, 28-15. Huskies by 13. 6:04 left here in the third quarter. Austin Day out top. He'll bounce it in. Free throw line. Jackson Mitchell. Quick pass down low. Get it to Jack Takasula. Credit a great pass. Bounce pass from Jackson Mitchell down there in the paint to Takasula for 2. 30-15. 15-point advantage for the Huskies. Out top, moving the basketball. With the basketball, that's Maddox Melton. Back out top, Ryan Sturgis being guarded there by Will DeStefano. They'll pick it up. Left elbow, give it up, Braylon Bennett. Braylon Bennett spin move in the paint. They're going to shot, block shot that time by Reese Knapp. Back the other direction, off the glass, 2-point bucket Will DeStefano for two, 32-15. Huskies by 17. 5:09 left here in the third quarter. In the front court on the dribble. On the dribble, that's number 10, Maddox Melton. He'll work against Austin Day. He'll get some help down low. And a block shot by Jackson Meitzel. We're going to pass it to the front court, a little too tall. Maybe some top spin on that ball. Goes out of bounds. And Austin Day says Meyer taps himself on the chest. So Hamilton Heights going to put a full pressure on. Full press right here. Going to be brought in from the backcourt, 84 feet away. Brought in by Braylon Bennett to try to get it into Mendoza. Tipped out of bounds. Going to stay in the hands of Newcastle. So they'll try it again. From the backcourt, Hamilton Heights pressure in the backcourt. They've got one defender on the plus side of the 50. They'll bring the ball in. On the dribble, it's number 4, Mason Miller. Mason Miller, turnaround jumper. Got it. Found that rim in a hurry. Mason Miller for 3. It's a 32-18 contest. Huskies by 14. 4:34 left. We're in the third quarter. Game number 2 here tonight at Newcastle. We're working it back around. We're going to work it in. Back out top, Hamilton Heights, Austin Day. Back pedal. You get it back left side. Zach Takasula to the corner. Reese Knapp. Another three-point bomb from the right corner baseline for Knapp. 35-18. 17-point advantage for the Huskies. In the front court, Ryan Sturgis. Sturgis picks up the dribble. Immediately in his face is Will DeStefano. They finally get rid of it. They'll work it in. They're going to call an offensive foul. And that was a well-deserved offensive foul, setting up to draw a charge. Was number 5, Austin Day. Austin Day knew that was going to happen. They're going to whistle a foul. They're going to give the ball back to the Huskies. So we're kind of having to rely on the public address for foul situations. I don't see them posted anywhere. The ball brought in Hamilton Heights. Pressure in the backcourt by Newcastle. Working back there is number 10, Melton and Miller. Crossing the timeline, Jack through the front court, Will DeStefano to the corner. 3-point shot wouldn't go that time. Re-snap, rebound, Newcastle. To the front court, Maddox Melton. Going to give the ball up. Ryan Sturgis, he'll go off the glass, get the bucket. Ryan Sturgis for 2, 6'1" junior. 35-20. Huskies by 15. 3:25 left. They're going to whistle a foul deep in the front court. Ryan Sturgis going to get a reach-in foul. Austin Day was on the dribbles. That was way out top. That's going to be the 4th foul here in the third quarter on the Trojans. Hamilton Heights yet to commit a foul in the third quarter. 3:23 left. Now top of the basketball and dish it off. Jack Takasula, if he'll throw one up for an alley-oop. Jackson Meitzel comes down with it, goes back up. 2-point bucket off the glass for Meitzel. 37-20. She's by 17. 3:05 left, third quarter. On the dribble, that's number 4, Mason Miller. He'll drive the lane, couldn't get the bucket to go. Back the other direction, Austin Day. He'll work it inside. Jackson Meitzel goes up for 2, and he got fouled. He'll shoot 2. So fouls whistled on Ryan Sturgeon. He has 2 in the contest. And that is the 5th foul here in the quarter on Newcastle. First shot up, good. Jackson Meitzel will have another one. Back in the ball game for Newcastle, 24, Nick Godby. Taking a breather is number 40, Luke Mendoza. Jackson Meitzel will have another one. 38-20. Scored off the mark, wouldn't go. Line for the board here was re-snapped. Trying to keep from fouling, and he did. Ball in the hands of number 4, Mason Miller. Deep in the front court. Picked up right there. By 22, Jack Takasula. He'll launch a 3. Short off the mark this time. Rebound Austin Day. He'll work it up ahead. Off the glass. 2-point bucket. Good. Jack Takasula. Credit the assist to Austin Day. Commit full 60-second timeout. Hamilton Heights 40. Newcastle 20. And we'll mention this game is also in parts Being brought to you by Indiana Express Rentals. When you find yourself looking for that dependable moving truck rental company, that high quality choice isn't far away. You can call Indiana Express Rentals. They're located at the south edge of Noblesville, 1708 South 8th Street. Simply call them at 317 773 4800. Again, that number is 317 773 4800. They have up to 26-foot box trucks available, and a truck with a Tommy lift can sure come in handy. Indiana Express Rentals, hours of operation Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And a Penske truck rental truck. The name Penske alone takes any possible concerns away from any travel. It's Indiana Express Rental. Ball brought in backcourt, Newcastle. Going to bring it to the sideline at a walk pace. Number 4, Mason Miller. Picked up at half court by Jack Kakasula. He'll work, thought about a shot deep. He'll work it left side. Number 10, Maddox Melton. He'll work it in. Nick Godby in the paint. He'll float up a hook shot. Got it. Nick Godby for 2. It's 40-22. Hamilton Heights by 18. 2:08 left here in the third quarter. We're working the timeline. We'll give the ball back. Jack Asula. They break the press with Austin Day. We'll work it down low. Re-snap. One dribble in the paint. You go back up. Shot when you go. Goes out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by the Huskies. So it's going to be brought in left of the bucket on the baseline. Braylon Bennett going to bring the ball in. And bring it to the timeline going to be number 4, Mason Miller. He'll be picked up at half court by Jack Kakasula. So working in the front court, number 4, Mason Miller. He'll dribble in. Kick it back out. Sturgis three-point shot wouldn't go. Rebound, Jack Kakasula. Into the timeline, he'll dish up ahead. Austin Day. Now the Kakasula picks up a screen from Mikesel. Works it back left side, out top. Will DeStefano back to Jack Kakasula. He'll drive the lane. Free throw line, kick it back out behind the three-point arc. Jackson Mikesel. Now back to DeStefano, back to Austin Day. Now DeStefano straight away. Not thinking about a shot, but he'll drive in. He'll float one up into paint. Shot when he go. Rebound, Ryan Sturgis for Newcastle. To the front court, Braylon Bennett. He'll work it inside, Nick Godby. Nick Godby being guarded there by Mikesel. And they're going to get the shot away. He'll get the bucket. And they're going to call a foul on Jackson Mikesel. So Nick Godby was backing him down in the paint. Finally went up with a shot. It rattled around. Looked like it might fall off, but it fell right in. So he'll have an opportunity for a three-point play. Number 24, Nick Godby. He's a 6'3" sophomore. He did jump center. 40-24. 16-point advantage for the Huskies. 57.7 left here in the third quarter. Shot up good. Nope, rims off, wouldn't go. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. Right at that board, number 10, DeStefano. Crossing the timeline on the bounce pass. Jack Kakasula to DeStefano in the front court, down low. In the paint, going to go up to 2 shots there. And that was Jackson Mikesel. He got the feed right there underneath the bucket. Left side of the glass. He faked the jump shot, got the defender off of his feet, and it was all over then. Everybody's okay. That's a 2-shot foul for Hamilton Heights. Jackson Mikesel. Shot in the air, wouldn't go. Jackson Mikesel started out this game hotter than a firecracker. And in the ball game for Newcastle is number 20, Lucas Eaton. Taking a breather, 24, Nick Godby. To Jackson Mikesel. Second shot, wouldn't go. Rebound, Ryan Sturgis. Bill outlet, left side, Mason Miller. We're going to see Woodruff back in the game. Drew Woodruff back in the game here shortly for Hamilton Heights. He's at the scores bench. Outside the arc, 3-point shot, good. Ryan Sturgis out in front of the Newcastle Trojans bench. 40-27. 13-point advantage for the Huskies. They'll work it in. DeStefano, cross-court pass. Austin Day for three, got it. Austin Day in front of the Huskies bench. Three-point shot, 3-3. 27, a 16-point advantage. 5 seconds left, crossing the timeline. On the dribble, Mason Miller's got to let go of it. Shot at the buzzer, wouldn't go. And that's going to complete 3 quarters of play. At the end of 3, Hamilton Heights, 43. Newcastle, 27. And we're going to see Drew Woodruff in the ball game. He checks in for the fourth quarter. Also checking in for the fourth quarter for Hamilton Heights, number 2, Caleb Sullivan. And we'll also mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Erica's Place. Erica's Place, you'll really enjoy your dining experience at Erica's Place. They've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can join them in Cicero at 40 West Jackson Street, right there at the stoplight, or in Noblesville. That's at 654 Logan Street, next to the Logan Street Bridge. You can dine in or carry out. They have excellent breakfast menu served all day. They have great sandwiches and salads and a very nice dinner menu. All meals are served hot and fresh. Bring your family or simply dine alone. That's Erica's Place in Cicero and Noblesville. Second buzzer, fourth quarter. Going to bring the ball in half court, also possession arrow. Gives it to Newcastle. It's going to be inbound by 22, Braylon Bennett. Well, Bennett going to toss it in, slightly backcourt. Mason Miller. They'll bring it through the timeline, picked up at half court by Jack Takasula. Hit back out, good hands there by Reese Knapp. Picked back up by Bennett. Out top of the basketball, Lucas Eaton. He'll dish off. They'll go to the corner with it. 3-point shot, Sturgis. Other side of court, Ryan Sturgis for 3 more. 43-30. That's to a 13-point advantage for the Huskies. In the front court, Caleb Sullivan on the dribble, picks it up. He'll bounce it in on the DeStefano on the drive, kicks it back out, resets the offense. Out top, Jack Takasula finds a path to the basket. Off the glass, Takasula for 2. 45-30. Huskies by 15. 7:13 left here in the fourth quarter. On the dribble, Mason Miller. Going to pop a shot outside the arc. Good. Right of center, Mason Miller for 3. 45-33. Cuts the lead to 12. Across the timeline, Caleb Sullivan. Snap to the front court. Reese Knapp dishes off. Hard to the hoop there. DeStefano couldn't get the bucket. Really picked up by Drew Woodruff. Finally picked up by Newcastle. We're dribble to the timeline. Braylon Bennett, crossover dribble. Working against him is Caleb Sullivan. Bennett gets the ball back. Hamilton Heights going to check back in the lineup next dead ball with Austin Day and Jackson Meitzel. 6:28 on the game clock. Going to be a push. Jack Takasula going to get called for the foul. So that's going to be an out-of-bounds play. That's the first foul here in the fourth quarter on Hamilton Heights. So Jackson Meitzel back in the game. Austin Day back in the game. We're going to see Will Stefano. DeStefano takes a breather. And Drew Woodruff takes a breather. 45-33, 12 points. Going to work the ball in. And underneath, reverse layup wouldn't go. Shot taken there by Braylon Bennett. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Newcastle. Going to belong to Hamilton Heights. Right in the bucket on the baseline. Going to be pressure in the backcourt. Ball's going to be brought in. Trigger man is Caleb Sullivan. Looking to get it in. He does. Jack Takasula. Takasula's going to give the ball back to Austin Day. Now back to Jack. The Jack going to try to beat the press here with the bounce pass. Working against him was Maddox Melton. They'll work it into paint. Off the glass. Caleb Sullivan's shot wouldn't go. Rebound put back. Reese Knapp wouldn't go, but he'll shoot 2. So Reese Knapp is going to shoot a couple. They're going to whistle this foul on number 20. Lucas Eaton. Lucas Eaton, he has 1 in the contest. And that's 1 here in the fourth quarter on Newcastle. And Hamilton Heights also has 1 in the fourth quarter. First shot, short off the rim. Reese Knapp, he'll get another one. Reese Knapp on the season, shooting 68%. He has shot 54 free throws this season. Second shot, good. The back end of a 2-shot foul. take the lead to 13, 46-33. Huskies in front. Bring it to the timeline. On the dribble, Mason Miller. They work it right side. Braylon Bennett. Out top, Eaton. They get it back to Miller. Miller lost the handle. It's going to go out of bounds. They're going to say that was tipped by Hamilton Heights. I'm not so sure. I think that was just a Tom Brady tuck rule type of lost the handle of it. They give it back to Newcastle. Left of the bucket, and they'll work it in. Braylon Bennett, turnaround jumper, got it. So 2-point bucket in the paint for Bennett. 46-35, cuts the lead to 11. Huskies in front, 5:40 left here in the fourth quarter. On the dribble, go outside. Caleb Sullivan, bring it back around. Jack Takasula. Takasula dribbles in. He'll float one up in the paint. Couldn't get it. Tips the ball back out. Picked up by Sullivan. Caleb Sullivan with the basketball. Now back out. Austin Day. Back to Sullivan. Sullivan will dribble in. A little bit of a bumping going on in there. Going to bounce it down low. Shot wouldn't go. That was Jack Takasula. Caleb Sullivan found him. He was in the paint. Went up for the shot, couldn't get it, but he'll shoot two. So that's going to be the second foul on the Trojans here in the fourth quarter. Jack Takasula, left-handed shooter. First shot rims off long. Huskies going to check back in with number 10, Will DiStefano. Taking a breather, did a fine job. That's number 2, Caleb Sullivan. So one more shot for Jack Takasula. Second shot, rims around, wouldn't go. Ball's loose, picked up by Ryan Sturgis of Newcastle. Going to bring it to the sideline. Mason Miller. Miller on the dribble, picked up again, half court by Takasula. Braylon Bennett now back outside. Eaton. They're going to call an offensive foul, setting up to draw the charge there was Hamilton Heights 23. And Jackson Mitchell draws the charge. So that'll be the third foul in the quarter on Newcastle. Hamilton Heights has one. 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. 46-35. Huskies by 11. We'll get across the timeline. Jackson will get a timeout. And Coach Ballinger was concerned there that the Huskies might not get the ball across the 10-second line in time. So the Huskies call timeout, save the possession. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout. And we'll mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. You can shop them online at NoblesvilleTrophies.com or stop in, if only to browse around. They're located at 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. They've got trophies, awards, plaques. They've got fast turnaround. Prices are low. They're so low you may want to be a repeat customer. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Noblesville Trophies in Noblesville. Ball's going to be brought in right in front of me. Will DiStefano, front court. You're going to try to toss it in. You look. You go back court to Jack Takasula. They'll get it back to Austin Day. In the front court, back to Jack. Out top, Eaton guarding Jack Takasula. They'll work it to DiStefano. Outside the arc, Austin Day. DiStefano. Cross-court skip pass, working on the left side, going to go baseline. Jack Takasula, 22, Jack Takasula off the glass for two, 48-35. The Newcastle going to bring to the timeline Mason Miller. Again, guarding the basketball, Jack Takasula. Guarding Mason Miller, that's a pretty good task. They're going to go outside the arc. Long three-point shot, rims off. Long shot taken there by Maddox Melton. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. That was DiStefano. To the front court, Jack Takasula. Takasula working at the left side, crossover. Working against him is Braden Bentley, I should say. Working it back around. They go baseline. Give me a foul whistle. 22, Braylon Bennett. Braylon Bennett commits the foul. He's got 3, and that's team foul number 4. 48-35. He's going to bring the ball in bounds again right in front of me. It'll be Will DiStefano, backcourt, Austin Day. Picked up there, right there, Maddox Melton. They're working down low off the glass. Austin Day with an acrobatic shot off the glass for 2. 50-35. Huskies by 15. In the front court, block shot. Jack Takasulas gets the block. It goes out of bounds. Shot was taken by number 4, Mason Miller. That just means the Trojans are going to get the ball again. They'll bring it in bounds. So back in the ball game for Newcastle, number 40, Luke Mendoza. Taking a breather is number 20, Lucas Eaton. They'll work it in. Spin move in the paint. 2-point bucket good. Braylon Bennett for 2. It's 50-37. Huskies by 13. 3:25 left here in the fourth. Out top, Austin Day. A little bit of a bumping going on. No foul there. Maddox Melton. Work it back. DeStefano picks up the dribble out top. Works it down low. Jackson Mitchell couldn't get the first shot to go. Got the rebound put back. Jackson Mitchell for 2. 6'3" junior. 52-37. 15-point advantage for the Huskies. Lost the handle. Recovered in the paint by re-snap to the front court. Jack Takasulas try to get it baseline to Jackson Mitchell. Tough pass to handle. He dribbles it on the side court, I should say the baseline. Gives it back to Newcastle. 30-second timeout. Newcastle. 52-37. Huskies by 15 with 2:48 left. We do appreciate you tuning in. And I'd like to also mention, if you want to like, share, or subscribe, you are more than welcome. And we appreciate you listening. And what a ball game right here. So Newcastle and Hamilton Heights, as mentioned, well familiar with each other. They played 9 times. That includes earlier this season. It was the second game of the season for the Huskies. It was the third game of the season for the Trojans. Triple overtime. Trojans got the win back on December 5th, 71-68. So ball brought in backcourt, brought in by Bentley. They get it back to Miller. We're going to back around to the front court. On the dribble, Maddox Melton. He'll dribble in. Right elbow, he'll get by the defender off the glass, got the bucket. 2-point bucket good. Maddox Melton. Dribbling exhibition got him freed up for a layup. He got fouled in the act of shooting. He'll shoot one more. So it's a foul stripe, Maddox Melton. That's his second foul here in the fourth quarter on the Huskies. Huskies will shoot. Next common foul committed by the Trojans. 3-point play, good. That's number 10, Maddox Melton. Shoots 68% from the stripe. Foul in the backcourt going to be committed by Maddox Melton. So they're going to put Hamilton Heights at the foul stripe. Maddox Melton has 4 fouls in the contest. Trying to figure out where I can see that, but I don't see a spot for me to know that other than the public address. So left-handed shooter, first shot good. Jack Takasulas. He'll get one more. Takasulas working on those free throws. He entered tonight's game with 99 shots at the stripe. Second shot rims off when he go. Rebound, Ryan Sturgis. Still outlet, Maddox Melton. That gives the ball up to Mason Miller. Crossing the timeline, picked up by Jack Takasulas. Outside of the basketball. Around the perimeter, 3-point shot. Rimmed off, wouldn't go. Shot taken by Mason Miller. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. To the front court. Baseline, re-snap in the paint. Knapp's going to have to take a shot. He will off the glass, wouldn't go. Rebound put back, wouldn't go, but he got fouled. So Hamilton Heights going to go to the foul stripe again. This time it's going to be number 10, Will DeStefano. Will DeStefano, he's shooting 71% from the foul stripe. A 6'1" junior. Well, he'll get one more. I was checking in the ball game for Hamilton Heights. Number 1, Cal Engel, 5'11" senior. Cal Engel shoots 55% from 2-point land, and he's 10 for 20. 2% from 3. Second shot good. Will DeStefano, 55-40 to the front court. Hamilton Heights by 15. 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Sturgis going to work it down low. Turnaround jumper wouldn't go. Shot taken there by Mason Miller. Rebound, Jackson Mitchell. He'll give the ball up. Point guard, Jack Takasula. He'll bounce it to the front court. Will DeStefano. Left side, re-snap. They're going to whistle a foul on Newcastle. They're going to whistle this on number 40, Luke Mendoza. So they'll go to the foul stripe, and they'll shoot 2 with 5 fouls committed in this quarter. They did put that rule in maybe 4 or 5 years ago. They wanted more foul shots taken in a ball game. IHSAA did that. First shot good by re-snap. They said if the team commits 5 fouls in one quarter, the other team gets to shoot 2 free throws. The only time you'll shoot 1 free throw is on a 3-point play or a 4-point play. Second shot also good by re-snap. 57-40. Huskies in front by 17. 1:40 left on the game clock. We're going to bring it across the timeline, Mason Miller. We're going to get him, Jack Takasula. Out top, takes up a screen from Bennett. He'll drive all the way in, off the glass. 2-point bucket good for Mason Miller. 57-42. 1:22 left. Huskies bring it across the timeline on the dribble. Bounce it left side, Takasula. Work it back around, re-snap, now Takasula's. Being guarded there by Mendoza. Trying to keep the ball away from the Newcastle Trojans. So working down baseline, off the glass. Jackson Mitchell for 2. He was wide open. We'll see a couple of new Huskies check in here. They'll bring it across the timeline, number 4, Mason Miller. Going to whistle a foul. 22, Jack Takasula commits the foul, so the Huskies can get 2 guys in the ballgame. It's going to be number 3, Jackson Cantlin, 6'3" senior. And also number 35, Hayden Spicer, 6'8" senior. And also in the ballgame, we're going to see number 24, 5'9" sophomore, Ethan Goodwin. The ball's going to be brought in, but Coach Matt Luce is going to go to his bench. He's going to bring in number 5, Carson Bain. He's a 5'10" junior. 13, Matthew Goodwin, a 6-foot junior. And number 11, Elijah Turner, a 6'4" senior. And back in the ball game, second half, Hamilton Heights, number 14, Drew Woodruff, 6'5" junior. We'll go baseline with it on the dribble. That's 32. We're going to back around. And Carmack Stillwell in the ball game for the Trojans. He's a 6-foot junior. Go outside the arc on the dribble of the basketball. Back out top, Mendoza. Left side on the dribble. That's number 5, Carson Bain. To float one up from the free throw line when he go. Rebound, Hayden Spicer to the front court. On the dribble, that's 24, Ethan Goodwin. Goodwin, free throw line. He'll bring it back out left side. They'll work it down low. They'll go baseline shot when you go for Cal Engel. Rebound, Newcastle. That was Luke Mendoza. He'll dribble across the timeline. 12 seconds left. Mendoza working against Hayden Spicer. Off the side of the backboard. Way to go. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Spicer. So 5.9 left here in the fourth quarter. 59-42. Hamilton Heights by 17. Going to bring the ball in right of the bucket on the baseline. Looking to get it in. Finally does out top. 3-point shot off the mark. Wouldn't go. 2 seconds left. That shot taken by 13, Matthew Goodwin. And that's going to complete tonight's ball game. Final score here tonight. Game 2 on Tuesday night. Hamilton Heights 59. Newcastle 42. So Hamilton Heights will advance to Friday night. And they'll go against Delta. The Delta Eagles. If you didn't know, Delta Eagles player for their team back in the day was Matt Painter. I was coaching the Purdue Boilermakers. But Hamilton Heights, plenty elated today about the ball game. And we're going to try to listen to an interview with Kent Benson. We do appreciate you tuning in. And then we'll find that here in just a moment. So The Hamilton Heights going to go off into their locker room, and we do appreciate you tuning in. And before we listen to that, we'll listen to this. Okay, we're going to listen to Mr. Kent Benson. We'll set that up right now. You know,
Athletic actually basketball IQ made him the most versatile player that those I you tell me on the phone last night. We looked at him on the phone. It's great. Oh, absolutely. Bobby and I, we started playing against each other. Yeah, Bobby's from Emerson Madison Heights and the high school there. And of course, me being in Newcastle. Um, we were opponents in junior high school. And then, of course, Bobby's a year older than I am, but we played against each other in high school and had a mutual admiration, respect for each other. And the friendship started developing there throughout our years here at IU. And of course, afterwards, as we played on different teams in the NBA we maintained our friendship, and to this day, we're best friends. He's one of my best friends in life, and I'm so blessed to have him as not only as a great friend, but as a Christian brother as well, and as a teammate, and then also the fact that we're business associates. He and I are in the process of developing the 76 Team LLC, which is commemorating our 50th celebration of our undefeated national championship season, the last undefeated season in NCAA history. A tremendous blessing and honor with that. And we've got so many great things going on. We're in the process of doing a documentary. We've already had two filmings interviews with several players and AU personnel. We've got several more interviews to go. Of course, we've got footage from the February 9th recognition that the University gave us here at that time of that Oregon game. And then, of course, in the Final Four from April 6th, the championship game. We're going to be there at that time. We got to spend about 6 hours just last week with TNT and TBS. They came in to film a segment for us, for us or on us, a pregame of the championship team. And so it's I'm blessed to be a part of all that. And so humbled that, thank God for the great opportunity that I did when I looked this up yesterday. I got a bit of a right now, not too bad. I looked this up. I didn't realize of the 16 players in that 76 team, you were a junior. The others were seniors. Yes, sir. Five seniors and myself. I was a junior. In fact, I was the only player in my class at that time. The other guys were all came in together and Mary Wilkerson and Matthew and Cruz. And it's reminisce and get to these guys, once in a while, just to reminisce the camaraderie, the friendships, it's just it's like time enough. That's all. Yeah, well, I'm just going to say this. Tom Abernathy attended 6 a.m. get together for Christian men. We have that every Friday. I have to play my guitar and sing a song that day, and he commented nicely. Well, I average about fishing mass, Mr. Jim Cruz, Avery, he lives up there. He used to live up in the Carmel area. Jim Cruz lives in Florida, and I respect like this time down in Florida. It's a good place to be. How come you're not there? I've got my family here. I'm blessed to still have my father. He's 19 years old. I moved from Newcastle to Bolivia to be June 25, and my fiance came in September 25. I have my father here. We've been blessed to keep him out of this. My sister Karen, her husband, have been taking care of my sister Kathy and Tom Evansville. They traded off back and forth, and I've got sister here. I've got two sisters and their families here, and two of my four daughters live in Bolivia as well. So my nieces and nephews. And I'm where I need to be. The closer to the head. You can't sit to do it like a little bit. I'm blessed still having. I'm so thankful for my sisters and their abilities and willingness to take care of them. Of course, I get to see. So much more tonight. We're going to play this deal at the Newcastle Hamilton Franks game. Then we're back up Michigan. We talked about playing Big Ten teams twice in a season. You played Michigan 3 times that 76 season. Game 12, game 19 was overtime. And then you beat them in the final game at 86-68. The great memories, of course, just been as tough as they were. You look back on our 76 and you can sense it. Back then there was only 32 teams in this tournament, and much different than today. The teams that we played in our were over the Final Four and championship. We were playing on all 19, and so. But then you go back even further to the start of our 76 season, 75, 76 season. After coming out of our 92 game loss to Kentucky in the Elite Eight, the fourth. We started our season out playing the UCLA Braves, who was the previous national champions. And then our second game, when we played the Russians, the Olympic champions. And so we started our season out not playing, Sister Mary the Blind or a fancy team or anything. We played the best of the best. And we wanted to start the season and make a statement. 1975, the season before, the 31-1 season was not a favorite. We weren't pretty good. So thankful to Christian to have that opportunity. Bill Butler and Scott Mayo, our captains, and of course, they knew that it was a team collectively. That's set the tone for the rest of our season. We had close games, we had challenging games because everybody gave us the best shot. When people give you the best shot, you're going to have some close games. But the thing about our success was that we never thought about getting beat. Right. We didn't stop playing the game until still. And there's some overtime games and what have you, but the whole idea was the fact that we came together. And AJ, when you talk about a team, you talk about being able to bring a group of talented individuals who use their God-given talents and abilities, and at the same time put aside their own personal goals for the success of the team, knowing that when the team wins, everybody wins. And that was a whole concept that we had on our team. Coach and I did a fabulous job of recruiting individuals, knowing our talents and our abilities and our potential and everything. And he was able to mold and make us into a great team. And of course, each and every one of us did. We strive for excellence. A lot of people say coach to demand perfection. Nobody's as you well know. But excellence is being the very best you can be. Everything that you do, no matter what it is that you do. And so we took that into every practice, every game. And in fact, our practices were so hard. It was like we couldn't wait to play a game because it was a whole lot easier playing a game than it was practice. And the other thing I'd like to add, if you don't mind, is people, over the last 50 years, I've had people ask me, what was it like to play Coach and I, what was it like to play with Bucky and Nate Wilkerson and at the Cruise? What was it like to go undefeated? What was it like to win a national championship? And on and on and on. And it was like it happened just yesterday. Another question was, well, who was the toughest team you had to play? And believe it or not, our toughest team that we ever had to play was our second team because they knew our plays, they knew our how we executed our defense, they knew our defense, and they got us in practice. We'd have bloody noses and what have you. It was all out war, and they made us play, prepared us for whoever it was that we faced. And of course, I always said it was all about us playing to our potential and playing with the boys, and that's what we did. Was individually and collectively. And I just thank God so much for the team. Not only my teammates that get a lot of credit and recognition. So we played most of the time. There's no doubt about that. But our second team gets tremendous honor and credit for making us who we are. Absolutely. Hey, it's been told to me that you played there when Steve Alter played there with a total 9,300. They made it more friendly now for 84.4 with the backbeat. But when you played there and Steve played there, they had that more bleachers around the track area. Folks wanted to watch you play. Yeah, absolutely. Those are great memories. The Circle House is the largest baseball team. And when I played, they had bleachers, temporary bleachers all the way around the course, making it about 10,000 people. And Newcastle being a population of I think it was about 16,000 at the time. On Friday and Saturday nights, the whole town was at the basketball games. And, great memory. But I go back to when I was about 13 years old, and I was at a sectional game there. Newcastle, of course, they had the bleachers on, the house. And so I was walking around the concourse, and the game was going on down there. And I stopped and looked down on that floor as a 13-year-old kid. How old was you at that person? Oh, I say, I don't know. I was taller than all my teachers, and even my third grade teacher and all my teachers. I grew up at the Catholic school there at St. Anne Catholic School. But anyway, I stood there and was looking up from from the top of the concourse down onto the floor, watching these guys play, and it was like I can't believe my dream. Because my dream was to be able to play on the high school team, to be a Newcastle Trojan, and play it down there on that floor and experience the tremendous fan support Newcastle had back then. There's times have changed with basketball the way it is, and what have you with the different conferences now, and what have you. But it was great memories, and I thank God for that opportunity to grow up in Newcastle, and of course to be a part of Indiana University's basketball team. We're so blessed to have the Hager Nation. Indiana University, of course, has the largest alumni group in the entire country. When it was all over 800,000. And when you take why to see, it's a Hager Nation has been tremendous supporters of ours for the last 50 years. I know they supported IU basketball before, and they continue to support it even after. I am just so blessed and thank God for the opportunity to play here at University. That's something I got to say. 6'11", I can take 6'11". You shot the first shot in the lane. You shot the baseline jumper. You put the ball on the alley-oop slam. You couldn't slam it like that. No, hold on. I'm going to mention that on June 77, you were the first overall pick in the NBA draft. You were drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks. I was drafted in the overall draft, and again, it was a dream come true. I don't want to give God all the credit. So I was so blessed to have coaches, Coach Cecil Tag, Coach Knight, many assistant coaches, my coaches that I grew up with in grade school and junior high, and my teachers that were very supportive of me, and friends, of course, first and foremost. After that, of course, is my family. I was so blessed to have a family that was very supportive of me and followed me everywhere I went. Everything. Mom and dad and my siblings to watch me play. And, the miles that they drove, the hours that they stayed up, and of course, then there wasn't the expressways and highways are now. It's great to be able to reminisce and go back, and to also have such great friends and supporters that constantly encourage me
bring it to my attention. I'm not a social media guy, so but I get friends who are so kind to send me different snippets that are on social media that I don't see about our team or about myself. And so, again, I just keep saying that I'm so blessed by God and how I I'm so thankful for that. Let me make one correction in regards to my height. I never was 6'10", 6'11". I was only 6'10". What I said, that's all you said. Yeah, I was only 6'10", but the rest of me maybe not bigger than I was at 6'11". We were 6'10". Good basketball rather than 6'10" and not so good at basketball and then have to duck for every doorway. Yes, absolutely. There's been many times that I put my head on the door. Now I tell people, I'm 71 years old. I've got the heart and mind of a 30-year-old, but body of 120. And everything that I've done, thank God. If I had to do it all over again, I'd still do it the same way. Knowing what I know now, the experience what I experienced. No, but I'm not 6'10" anymore. I'm about 6'3". I'm strong. 2 new knees and all. But I'm blessed to still be on this side of the game. See, I tell you what, you played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but you told me a little while back you liked it most when you were in New Orleans Jazz. I was a Utah Jazz. Yeah, Utah Jazz. Yeah, it was a great team. Did you play with Pete Maravich? No, I did not play with Pete, but I played against him. In fact, I played horse. I played horse before a game, and a great guy. A great player to watch. Fun to watch. It's great because long handling abilities and skills and everything. But that was so he was with New Orleans Jazz. The New Orleans Jazz became the Utah Jazz. So I went from Milwaukee Bucks. I played 2.5 years with Milwaukee, 6.5 with the Detroit Pistons, a year in Utah, a year in Cleveland, and then a year in Italy. And I ended up with 12 years professionally, 11 in the NBA. I had an opportunity to play 5 more years in Italy, but chose to come back home because my daughters were all play at that level now, and I had played my dream. I played 12 years, and that was basketball was good to me. I was good. And I'm so thankful that I was able to go out in all terms and conditions, and that's again thanking all the people that's been so supportive of me in my career. And back in Bobby Knight and Adidas, you got that Adidas contract, and you wore Converse along with Dr. J and Magic Johnson. You had a white foot. Yes, the Adidas never fit my foot. I went through. So I averaged going about 36 pairs of shoes a year. I go right out the side of them, just because of the intensity. And I was really strong, powerful, and what have you. And but no, I wore Converse because particularly the later Magic Johnson. I wore them because I think what you do was important for. If you want me to be the best that I could be, you need me to wear a shoe fit my foot. There's triangular squares on the bottom. They had. Oh yeah, that's indeed. You go back to the old tech boys and that sole and just the whole style. In fact, you even see people wearing them today. The Chuck Taylors and Founders Taylor, those are great shoes. Yeah, again, one more things here. Upcoming, you got the documentary. Not too long ago, I was thinking about Cody Paulus. That was way too long ago. It was a thought I experienced a little bit. Went out on the road. She came from the session. Politics was not me, and I chose to back out. I'm going to ask you, you ever get called Michael? And I see your Michael. Your name is Michael Kent Benson. It's Michael Kent Benson. Of course, when my mom used to call me Michael, when I was in trouble. Michael Kent Benson. But I go by Michael K. Benson or Michael Kent Benson now for insurance purposes and legal purposes. So everyone knows me as Ken. That's good. I tell you what, I'm going to mention Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight, 3 NCAA title, 76. Your team was the first one. 81 and 87. Were you elated when 81 and 87 showed up? Oh yeah, exactly. A little bit of trivia for you and your listeners here. Indiana University actually has 5 national champions: 1940, 1953, ours in 76, 1981, and 1987. And of those 5 national championships that Indiana University has, 4 of them are players from Newcastle, Indiana. I didn't know that. Most people don't know that. In 1940, it was Ron Huffman. 1953, it was Jack Rabbit, right? I was in 76. We skipped 81. In 1987 was Steve Albert. I tell you what, you got Randy Whitman from 81. And we got a guy from what's that? Yes, and also Isaiah Thomas was a great player in NBA Austin. Played with Detroit when I was in Detroit. Not too long. Didn't know, and I didn't know for a while. In '53, he was Bob Slick Leonard. Absolutely, yeah. Bob Slick Leonard, and that was a great team too. You know, with Schlum, Charlie. I mean, I got to mention it was good. It was like a twins. Yeah, it's always been good. It was a he's very educated person. His basketball IQ is very excellent. You know, he was a captain. And on the floor, it was like having Coach Knight right there. He and Coach Knight were so much alike. So he was a great leader. He knows the game. I like that. And also, he's like this is not his partner. I think that you open your house. Thank you very much, DJ. I'm always honored to the opportunity to speak with you and the opportunities that you've done with me. Also, the friendship that we have here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your professionalism. Also, I appreciate the fact that you're very nice. Yeah. Do you always wear number 54? Yes, I did. I was born in 1954. And when I was in grade school, I was being bigger than everybody else. Bigger. And number 54. I got it. So and then it's I went for high school, also through high school, also college, and all through the NBA. The only time I did not wear it was in played in Italy. The numbers were 0 through 19. And that was number 10. So in time. Now I think I've been one. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and God bless you and your listeners. Amen.